What's going on? Today we are talking about the Valen Rev 2 fat tire electric bike from Retrospec. I have now reviewed a few electric bikes on the channel. I've reviewed 4, including this one. This one is my favorite. So without hearing any more of the review, there's a link in the description. Click that link, learn more, buy yours through my link. It would help the channel. You're gonna love this thing. That's all you needed to hear. Go ahead and buy it. If you wanna hear why I'm saying these things, stick around for the rest of this video. Before we get into the review, on this channel, we talk about tech from an intentional perspective. So if that sounds cool to you, feel free to subscribe and like this video so that we can teach the algorithm that what we make here is fun for the whole family. So I've had this bike for a few weeks now and I've really been enjoying riding it. There's some things that I absolutely love, some very minor things actually that I think they could add to make this bike better. And as always, this is my perspective on this product. You might have different needs than I do, but I'll try and point out everything that I loved and everything I didn't love so much about this bike in this video and let you decide whether to pick one up for yourself or not. So I'm gonna just start with looks. This thing looks really cool. I told Retrospec, I said, send me whatever color you want. They have a really cool Riptide blue, which I was kind of hoping for just because it really pops and stands out. They also have a slate color, which I think looks really nice, especially with that brown seat. The one they sent me was the matte graphite. You can't go wrong with matte black. I love the graphite next to the black battery, the black seat, and the black tires. I think it's a nice contrast, but not too contrasty, right? It's still low key, still low profile. I think this thing looks awesome. I'm a big sucker for e-bikes that sort of have that moped motorcycle kind of look. Super 73, I think, is the one that sort of made this idea famous, but I've seen a lot of companies, even Retrospec, come out with bikes that look this way. I think that Retrospec has done something really nice here to keep the price down. I think it has a lot of great features, but they have cut some corners in a good way to keep the price down. And I don't even want to say cut corners. I think they've intentionally left some things out that would make the bike more expensive to keep the cost down. But I would also argue they just make the bike better. So let's get into one of those things, which is this is a single speed bike. A few things when you're looking at this bike on the website, it looks like it has suspension with that front fork. It looks like there could potentially be some suspension with the back. There's no suspension on this bike. I will say the tires are fat enough that if you let out a little bit of air, it gives you enough cushion while you're riding. It's not gonna jolt you. I rode this thing through the woods, over tree stumps and all that kind of stuff. It's great. I'm not a huge hardcore mountain biker where I need tons of this action going on. For cruising around, for getting to and from work, for taking it through the woods on some paths, this thing is all you need in terms of that. Going back to the single speed functionality, I tested the Juiced Hyper Scrambler 2 that had a full 7-speed gear shifting. It had shocks and all this stuff that went into it that definitely made it feel like a tank and had a lot going on. I find when I'm using these bikes, I'm on the throttle more than anything. I just like cruising around on these, getting from point A to point B as quickly or as slowly as I want to. And I just don't have a huge need to really pedal. If you need to pedal, single speed, it does a great job. I just found that with the Juiced Hyper Scrambler, I wasn't changing gears because I didn't need to be changing gears to go up hills and stuff. The motor does a lot. I personally like the single speed better. It cuts down on the weight of the bike, cuts down on the cost of the bike. Everything you need in a pinch to pedal is here. That said, we have some big hills here in Roanoke, Virginia. People come to Roanoke from all around. It's kind of like Asheville, North Carolina. They come here to mountain bike. There's hills all over the place. The steepest hill, I don't know what the incline is or anything like that, but it's the steepest hill in my neighborhood, which is really steep. I throttled only up this hill and was still going about 10 miles an hour. That's the slowest I got. So this thing has a top speed of 20 miles per hour, and that's full throttle or with the pedal assist. And the battery itself has a range up to 49 miles. I have only charged it once and I've been riding it all over the place, so that's super nice. 5 pedal assist levels, right? So that's another thing. You can change how quickly the bike goes when you pedal. You do have your small quick access controls, which helps turn the bike on or off, put it into walking mode. Something that I really like about the bike is you can take the battery off. So that's enough about the specs. You can go on their website, again, at the link below, to find out more about this bike or their other bikes. There are other bikes as well if you want to learn more about the specs. the size of this bike, things like that. I just kind of want to talk about my experience, some things I like and some things I didn't like. So I love this bike. I think it's like perfect for me. I'm a minimalist. I love minimal design. There's not a lot going on, single speed, a very nice design of this bike. I think it looks fantastic, especially with that sort of cross deal going on in the frame of the bike. I think that the motor's great. I think comfortability is great. I think the saddle is very comfortable as well. Pedaling is very comfortable. Really, I can't rave enough about how much I love this bike. So let's get into what I don't love so much about the bike. So I think something that really makes an e-bike shine, honestly, in my opinion, is having a nice HUD, a heads-up display that shows how fast you're going, how much range the battery has, things like that. This is one of their lower cost bikes. Like I said, they found a lot of nice ways to cut down on cost so that it's more affordable. It doesn't have a display or anything like that. It just has a little unit that sits next to the handlebar that shows you your pedal assist functionality and whether the bike's on, things like that. So you don't really have an idea of how fast you're going. Now, the way I have gotten around that is Quad Lock makes a motorcycle mount that I bought a while ago for my bike. Took it off my bike, put it on this, have the Quad Lock phone case on my phone. You swap it in there, and I have an app, which I'll link to the app down below. And if I can find the Quad Lock accessory, I'll link to that down in the description as well. The app is just called Bike GPS. It does everything that I said. It shows you your speed, your range, even the weather, stuff like that. So that's nice. I usually like to have my phone there anyway to play music, or if I'm using maps, something like that. But I would like to see a bigger heads-up display on an e-bike. And again, I understand why they went without it. Some other things about this. The biggest problem, I think personally, is the amount of time it takes from hitting the throttle or pedaling till the motor actually kicks in. This can be a preference thing, and I don't know if you can change this or not. There's about a 3-second delay from hitting throttle to actually the motor kicking in. So you're cruising along, you're about to hit a hill, boop, 1, 2, 3, brrr, and then the motor starts up. That doesn't really bother me when I'm riding around town or like cruising around, but there were times like in the woods especially where I was coming up to a bunch of like roots, for instance, and I wanted to almost fully stop and go really slow to get around them. And then once I'm through, I want to pick up speed because I don't want the bike to completely stop and me fall off the bike. So I would like get through and then start to pedal, or I would hit the throttle and it would just be delayed 3 seconds. So I would want that immediate like, great, through the roots, let's go. And I would have to wait 3 seconds for that to happen. That's just a small thing that I noticed. It's a little weird. It's not like it's got me in any wrecks or anything. It's just something that has really stuck out to me. And I wonder if they can cut down on that time. Those are really my only things. Without dragging this video along too far, you know, there's some things that I would want in an e-bike, right? Maybe having more suspension, things like that. But honestly, I haven't missed them. And when you start to add that stuff, the price adds up. And this is coming in at a cool $12.99, which if you look at other bikes on the market, it's really not that bad. But that does it. I love this bike, the Valen Rev 2 fat tire electric bike from Retrospec. I've really enjoyed working with the company. Would love to do more reviews of their bikes in the future. If you have any bikes from Retrospec you would like me to review, leave them down in the comments. Again, first line of the comment and in the description, link to pick yours up today. Otherwise, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one right here. I think you're gonna love it. Again, if you're interested in tech reviews from an intentional living perspective, then feel free to subscribe, like this video for more, and I will see you all in the next one.